Always a pleasure to have you on. I am Pius Kojo Baka, and straight up, President Akufo Addo and former President John Dramani Mahama are leading their political parties' last-ditch efforts at wooing voters in their Asin North constituency for the Tuesday's by-election. The NDC's Jachi Kwesen was booted out of Parliament after the Supreme Court found that he was not qualified to have contested the election and is seeking to re-enter Parliament. He is coming up against NPP Charles Opoku in what analysts have predicted will be a fierce encounter. John Dramani Mahama says voters in Asin North must punish the NPP for what he says is economic mismanagement and their treatment of Jachi Kwesen.
So we are proud say we are Krobi this year. I want to Waba. Jachi Kwesen or yeah Asin North this year. He not to Naba. Asin North. Nasa Ankrofui. Almost Asin North Jina Omonyo Bia Obijina Momo. And Omoko Takwa and Swahim. Ekofa will be free ho. Say Ombejina. Nasa Anipano. Anka onim say Asin North ni enayena. Anka eha enoye ni bibia. Because me ye betu abebia district assembly bibia on betu bia. This em tu anamonko bole koto. Enta ko nim say Asin North no fear. Anka o say na ba no ewo ha. Enti wonam say nkrofon to aba ma o. Enso wan kasa wontimi to aba ma o ho ewo Asin North. Ene see a sheno baako. Ebi say Benada Jachi Kwesen be she na tade fefefe. Ezu esa say oto aba ewo Asin North. Obekwa akoto na aba fefefe. Na also de wa ba ni ha nti untime nto ha. Enti aye den Jachi Kwesen ahye baako. Also a 0 wenya goal bia. And I 1-0 ka and throw in a decay name Asin North. Nyayan come if you mepeja amamre kwa so mepeja also jansa na obie hu se ya jinedi ono na ndisi amanyoko no ya tanechi se Asin North for ento emano. Enti edane dru a monfa fom asia ho monfa free asia ho monfa free ho ezu enti me peja ne nsa amamre kwan so na chese onyo ene ade atum ono ene eta na chi eno ena nokre ewo na afa ono ena nyame ebesi ne hene Benada amaye nyina Joe James Jachi Kwesen.
Meanwhile, President Akufo Addo is urging constituents of Asin North to vote for a candidate who has no legal trouble hanging over his neck.
Now, people are trying to make us all kind of order. You need to check one money with you. Hey, that's only paying. Or bring Ghana from Papa. And check one name with you. You will feel. You will feel. Yeah, I got two little second. Sa Paswa and the little person. Let me know about that. I say before any minute you can say and then they run around. Then I'm right and they run around. And then I'm about to run around. Then I'm right and they run around. And then I'm run around. Maybe we will be our Ghana. I said the two and then another and then all the Paris answer, oh, I'm going to because of way and say, nearly be maybe that. 6.5 years in the world, nearly been a mayor. I'm not a two, I'm not two. I'm not a two, not two. I don't make any movie. It is some make it. Who for quite to do more power. Now, brother, you call it the other one. Mokoye onipa obochi aba No, my bad boy. Now somebody is so high. Why say.
All right, so we've got to go live to Asin North, where Richard Kojo joins me on phone for more. Richard, pleasure you could join me on JoyNews Prime. Now, how is campaign shaping up barely 48 hours to the by-election? All right, so pretty soon we shall get Richard Kojo back on stream to speak to us on the latest in relation to the by-election happening Tuesday. And already we've seen former President John Dramani Mahama campaign and that of President Akufo Addo making their various speeches on the campaign grounds, basically to woo voters to vote for their respective candidates. And pretty soon we will connect to Richard Kojo once more to give us a feel of what is happening live on the grounds at Asin North, where we do know that come Tuesday, the by-election will be coming on. As and when we do have Richard Kojo, we shall connect to him. Thankfully, he's joined us now. Richard, earlier I was asking you to tell us how is campaign shaping up in Asin North.
So it's been really an atmosphere of intense campaigning by the two political parties. This very ground that I stand, the MPP just finished their rally and the president raised the hand of the MPP candidate Charles Opoku to the people, urging them to vote for Charles Opoku. The president's message was very simple, that they do not have to vote for someone who is embroiled in legal issues, the fact that the person may have to go to the court on a daily basis, and that will not do or other work for their development. And so on that basis, the president said that they should vote for Charles Opoku. One issue that has been also dominating is the issue of the LGBT. The majority leader, Minister Bonsu, has been discounting claims that if the MPP is allowed to continue, they will introduce the LGBT into our body politics or into Ghana. And so that is what has been happening here. I've got some of the people here to interact with. Who are you voting for on TV? Kachi.
But so, maybe number 2 baby. They were for a while. Because we have done more than over. If this is a man, yes, I think this. Baban, like I said, Naka, friend. You can say, another. I don't know what's on the block. That's what you done. The better to use it. As a blood of a pack, you know, you got me, I will be done with me. And do the man or to be just
on one I didn't see
on one I didn't see.
Now, Georgia occupation, so really, I was happy. But I didn't see that they are the more about Georgia occupation, the most successful and I'm in the call.
But so, your man, I'm saying, I'm a fan. The time I will free our habits in Nana Plan, I didn't finish. Also, quite there, 45 years, but so about. Oba no match to Obama, no match to Obama. We had the incident, so must say, oh, it's a popular and I'm in the call. And so, almost to Obama, you see, now we're 60. I will have it so. The city is the answer. Now, a new time I have Obanaka, Obama, at an Emblani, enemy, and then no consent, there 2.5 years. I will be there at the airport. Okay, I have
but MPP for GDC, 5 years, why I take any of your
maybe they were racing. There, you're going to ban the papa. It's a summer brand now. They are money I built to our own. Other coffers are this media or the buy. You know, one more to say, on the Yakwana mine. And you're so young. The 50 and say, papa. About so what he has essentially been saying is that they know Charles Opoku, they have lived with Charles in this very constituency. He grew up here, and the fact that he's done a lot, even when he has not even become an MP, it shows that when he becomes an MP, he will do a lot. Let me speak with this gentleman. Good evening. What's your name? I see that you were part of this rally. Why did you spend your precious time attending this rally?
Well, it's a very good friend. I've known him for a long time. I know he's such a good person. I know he's the person who taking over. It's capable, people likable by everyone here. You see the crowd, you can see what.
Yes, I saw the crowd, but when you also come here, the people say that, George Question, when he came here, he was also doing very well. Even when he was even embroidered in the legal issues, he was still even doing his best.
He may have been doing it, but you don't need someone who's just doing it. You need someone who's just doing it. And maybe just say, this is a person who's lived with them. He's stayed in the community for a long time. They are trained, they are trained. We don't need someone who has been away for over 45 years. May not even know a lot of people. People may approach him. He doesn't even know them. People want the grassroots person. He's the grassroots. So I think he's someone who can take over and do better for us.
Okay, Pius, thank you very much. So before I go, I would want to engage my colleague Ohimi Teria, who is been on the ground with me. Ohimi, tell me what you've also seen on the ground. The NDC has also been campaigning vigorously on the ground.
Yes, it's been a very busy day for the two leading political parties, the NDC and the NDC, in the Akufo constituency. Remember, NDC decided not to go any big rally today, as been done by the opponents, the Democratic Party. They decided to use the concentrate on radio, what they call a radio rally. And beyond the radio rally, also hit ground in areas like Bankame and Akofidi, and also Akufo and the others. It's been led by the former president, John Dramani Mahama, and then the NDC, the National Executive, the person of being led by JoyNews Prime. So for them, they are also touching base with the people. Don't forget the NDC's rally today was nearly marred by the rainfall.
And I'm told that it's been raining incessantly for the past 2 weeks. For which reason some of the internal roads they intended even working on, they have not been able to finish.
Yes, that has been the atmosphere here, the weather conditions. Or actually have sceneries over the past so that people can come out with their numbers to start to be about it. But I'm not saying it will be a very busy day. Even in the Akufo area, you can see the National Democratic Congress party supporters.
Richard Kojonyako interacting with Ohimi Teria at the monitoring event for us. We shall, of course, keep you updated as and when development unfolds in that constituency. But let's move on to some other stories. And roads at Gulf City, Saki, Bediako, and its environs in the Katamanso municipality have further deteriorated due to perennial flooding. The deplorable state of the roads is adversely impacting the lives and livelihoods of thousands of residents who say they feel neglected after many cries for help. My colleague Carlos Caloni was in the community earlier and has come through with this report.
This is not a pond or a dump site. It is the main road in the heart of Gulf City, a fairly planned settlement in the Katamanso municipality. One of the many craters on the Gulf City to Bombaria Road. Lot of skills required to successfully drive through this body of water. Those who do not have it just turn around. Some, however, there without the required skills, they end up like this tricycle, loaded with rubbish, headed to the Kpone landfill site, but spills its garbage here. Others, like this taxi driver who needs a push to see through, says the impact on their livelihoods is immeasurable.
Blessed day, we cannot even work as a normal working days that we used to work. Normally we go like 15 trips, 20 trips, but today we cannot go. Even most of the cars have even stopped working. In fact, it has actually affected our income. We have families that we take care of. We are in the rented rooms.
An officer from the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Johnson Ade, who chanced on this, shared some environmental concerns.
For the rubbish, it has a lot of implications. This rubbish, the way you see it, it contains, we don't know what is in there. There can be fecal matter. There can be all kinds of things. And when they stay in there, they will get into people's homes. they will be in there, they will decay. They will start causing havoc to the community. So if there is any water body here, all these contaminants, the pollutants will get into it. And the water bodies, we have cattle grazing, they drink from the water body. So when they drink from the water body, we in turn eat this cattle, and this thing will bioaccumulate in them and it will get into humans. So it's a very, very, very important issue to protect public health.
Apart from environmental impact, the huge decline on the road usage due to its deplorable nature is affecting the many small businesses dotted along the road.
Me organizer, the did John Edu. Monsha Kwan age more so. Yakwan say. I never sent you bed Makwan Yafin Kofi. First, the age met me 1.5. And the whole Metiamo. Only one type of pump 2 cities. The Concola Sophie. The bands are missing my Colano.
Nimiton Coco, because of Quania Santi, Cabia, Nippon Pontimim, and Betuadino. Uncle Coco by 8, 9, and Nasa. And so they say at midnight by 11 to 12.
It's a 1 week in the Miba shop by Juma Biamba. A quinina saying to be on to me and Ras shop no. It's may dance and I met whom, Mafia mi bamune, Mikuna and Amabuano.
Fusina is a resident. She tells Joy News what some pregnant women go through on the road.
It has a lot of impact on people. Personally, I know a neighbor who was in labor, but because of the state of the road, she couldn't have a baby. And then someone was sick, like very sick, and then they were rushing the person to the hospital. The person almost lost his life.
The assemblyman for the Mlichakbo electoral area, Isaac Newton Tete, says they feel neglected.
We feel neglected in the entire community because the state of our roads so embarrassing that you don't understand what's happening. Look, we have used several means to get authorities or DT bearers to fix this road, and it's bearing no fruit. And as we speak now, you can see for yourself the nature of the road.
When contacted, the municipal chief executive of the Kponkatamanso, Samuel Oko Amankwa, said the deplorable roads in question have been awarded to contractors for rehabilitation works, but contractors have failed to show up.
We have submitted all the challenges we have on all the roads you just mentioned and more to the road minister, Amakwata. We have a copy that has gone to the Urban Roads Director General and then that of Highways. The Calypso one to Michelle Camp and then Bediako Roads, actually they've been awarded. The site was handed over to the contractor somewhere last year, September. Up to now, the contractor has not come to site. And this is a big worry to all of us. So we have made a request through Urban Roads that they should change the contractor for us.
Until the contractors show up to fix the roads or are sacked and replaced with those who will work, residents and commuters would have to develop the skills to drive through a pond-like road or end up like this tricycle, unable to reach its destination. From Gulf City, I am Carlos Scaloni for Joy News.
So one of our headline stories we are following up for you, oil tanker drivers are striking over poor roads from tomorrow. The vice chairman of the Oil Tankers Association, Alabi Sunday, says their members have complained about poor roads linking oil depot, but government has not listened to their plea. Sunday, Alabi joins me via Zoom for more. Alabi, pleasure you could join me on JoyNews Prime. Tomorrow, you've indicated you go on strike. What will make you rescind your decision?
Good evening to all your viewers and listeners. What will make us go back to work is unless the road is fixed. If the road is not fixed, it's not possible we go back to work.
When you say, okay, go ahead.
Because before the previous bulletin, you could see this, we are the same municipal with the Bediako and the rest. We've put several letters to the assembly, to the minister, to help us just fix the road. They are not doing anything about the road. And day in, day out, every quarter, about 2 or 3 trucks that falls on that stretch from GTP roundabout to Boom Junction, only 8 to 10 kilometers. So I don't know why the ministry is refusing to fix that road, because the revenues they generate from that road can constitute about 50% of the whole revenue we collect in Ghana. They pay taxes. I remember 2019, we meet with the MCE, all the stakeholders around, the companies around that enclave, that they want to contribute and raise money or raise funds for the road to be fixed. They want to bring their contractor in to fix the road. The assembly says no, unless they bring the money to the assembly, and assembly will get the contractor. And nobody is ready because it has been done severally somewhere, and will give the money to the assembly. The road will not be fixed.
I'm pretty sure you've notified, as you rightly mentioned, the various agencies, the NPA and of course government. What has been the response? And let me factor this in quickly in about 2 minutes. Have you considered the implications of your action on the supply of petroleum products?
Yes, it is not the NPA, it is the road minister that we petition. That we sent several letters to him and remind him. Yes, I know it will affect the public, but it is better this way than a tanker truck will fall down or roll over on the road and will bring fire. But if you bring fire, it's the whole time. And as we speak, Ghana, we don't have a standby fire service to contain one depot when it begins to catch fire. There's no one fire tender that can contain a depot. But if one depot should start fire right now, it will affect all the depots because they are interlinked from the port. Their lines are connected. So if we should allow this go on, because our drivers are trained, that's why they are doing marvelous job for about 7 good years now, from 2017.
All right, Alabi, thank you very much. I guess your point is well made, and of course we shall follow up on subsequently and keep viewers updated. Alabi Sunday is the vice chair of the Tanker Oil Drivers Association, speaking to us there. You're still watching JoyNews Prime. More after this break. Hello, welcome back, and of course we are your election headquarters. Let's go live to Asin North, where our man Richard Kojo and the rest of the team have pitched camp there to bring us live updates. Guys, take it away. So, Richard, give us a feel of what is happening currently in the constituency.
Long day, hectic day, and interspersed with rains. We are told that it's been raining in this constituency continuously for 2 weeks, and it means a lot. Just gone by was a rally of the NPP, and it was greeted with big wigs of the party and persons in government. Topical or chief among them was the president, the vice president, the chief of staff, all of them. In fact, it looks as if that the entire government machinery was here at the Simbreku here. In fact, the NPP says that they have put a lot of mechanisms in place and they are winning this election easily. Ahime, now that is the point, or that's the statement the NPP is making. You've been also following bits and pieces about the NDC. What are they also saying?
For the National Democratic Congress, this is their seat, and that they are going to win the seat hands down. No matter what the New Patriotic Party will do. Don't forget, campaigning in the Asin North constituency will not go without being the prosecution of the incumbent MP, let me say the former MP being mentioned. So that has been the campaign message of the NDC, saying that Jachikwesin is being prosecuted deliberately by the MPP to deny the people of Asin a representation in Parliament, and that MPP is doing everything possible within its power to deny the MP the opportunity to represent the people in Parliament. The MPP, on the other hand, believes that no, Jachikwesin has been caught up by the law and is being dealt with, has been dealt by the law, as happened in the story of Adam Sakran. The president yes. Did mention it. So for NDC, they have been all over the constituency, though they didn't organize any big political rally today, but they have been on the ground going to meet the constituents and the electors one-on-one, and also sharing their message with them at the information centers and at the radio stations as well. So the MPP, they believe that they are going to win this election because of the mechanisms that they have put in place.
Now, when we've been here the whole day, in fact, we've been in the constituency for a while, you've been eavesdropping the conversation of residents. What have they been telling you? What have they been saying? Are they swaying to the NDC or to the MPP?
Kojo, it's a bit difficult to say that MPP will win this election or the NDC will win the election hands down. For the constituents, every bit, let me say, a group of persons that you meet on the streets will want to share their idea or their voting pattern with you. But you meet a set of people who will also tell you that for us, we are going to vote for the NDC. So for me, as a journalist who has covered by-elections like this on several occasions, I do believe that when we go to the polls on Tuesday, that will decide who would take the nod, whether it's the NDC or the MPP. But I must say that both parties can win. They are equally capable of winning the seat because the NDC has done their own underground campaign. Because don't forget, in 2020 they win the seat, though the voting pattern was just like skirt and blouse. The MPP won the presidential elections here, and then the NDC also won the parliamentary elections.
But when they say that, the MPP is quick in saying that there were internal issues. They had some issues with their candidates, and that was what resulted in the skirt and blouse votes. You heard the president also reiterating the same point.
Yes, MPP believes that they have resolved that issue, and they've been pointing accusing fingers at the electorates here in Bereku. They think that the Bereku people or the electorates did not vote for the MPP in 2020 elections, but this time around, they have resolved all those internal, issues, and they believe that Bereku being one of the largest polling centers and the largest electoral area will definitely vote for the MPP. But I will also tell you that the NDC also have their own positives, and that is what they are dwelling on. They think that this is a foregone conclusion for them. They are going to win the Assembly of elections.
We are your election headquarters here. We've pitched camp here, and we are going to be here counting the minute-by-minute update until the elections are declared. And so whoever the Electoral Commission declares that this person has won, this person has lost, will be here to cover the minutest detail. Don't forget that it is not only the MPP and the NDC that are in this election. We have the candidate for the LPG and an independent candidate as well. So we'll be here. The 2 days that are left look very pregnant, and it has a lot of shocks, surprises, and all of that.
Richard Kojonyaku, grateful you could join us with the latest update from Asin North. We shall, of course, keep our eyes there. That's it for the program. I am Pius Kojo Baka. You can get news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Always a pleasure serving you. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.